If you have a dream, but you've been telling yourself subconsciously that I can't do that, girl, like it's too late, okay, then this is the video for you, because I believe everything happens for a reason. And you're watching this video because there's some part of you, some small, quiet part of you that just still wants something. And the want, the yearning is being canceled out by this social programming telling you can't do that. Okay, you can't you can't go back for your master's. Okay, you can't just like pivot your career. You can't just like do that weird side hustle that you wanted to do, because that makes no sense. So you can't do that. Okay, I'm here to dispel that myth. It is in fact not too late. Listen to me. It's never too late. It's never too late to go back to school. It's never too late to pick up a new hobby. It's never too late to finish that creative project. It's never too late to finish anything that you want to finish. It's never too late to reach out to someone that you want to reconnect with. It's never too late. So in this video, I'm going to share 4 truths with you that I just think are timely and that are hopefully relevant, that may trigger something positive or negative in your life, that will actually push you to go ahead and make the change that you have been, some small part of you has been wanting to make, because you are ready. You're ready. If you're watching this video, you are ready. So truth number 1 that we all need to fully understand is that time is not linear. Okay? The matrix that we live in, the universe that we live in, wants you to think that everything happens in succession, that everything is a linear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piece, a brick by brick that gets placed. Okay? Oh, you went to school for this. Now you have to apprentice in that. Then you have to spend 3 years doing this. Okay? It's not true. It's not true. Okay? Because you know why? Because I know you. I know the way that you operate in your life is that it's expansive. It's that you can actually carry multiple timelines, carry multiple threads in parallel all at once. Okay, you're standing there. Let's say you're making dinner. Okay, you're standing there, you're making dinner. You're stirring the pot on the stove. What are you also doing? You are also leaving a detailed and hilarious voice note for your best friend. Okay, responding to some question that she has. You were also thinking about, oh, what is tomorrow's dinner? And then should I pull that out of the freezer and defrost that? You're also on your iPad looking up recipes on YouTube. Okay, you're also texting your husband, responding to some question that he has. You're also doing the mental math, thinking about when does the laundry need to come out? And did I do that thing? And like, what's that little errand and then you're writing that down. Okay. You are already in your daily life doing 7,000 things at one time. And your system is capable of it. Your system is not breaking. Your system can handle it. And sometimes it actually feels good to be doing a lot, right? It's stimulating for some of us, right? We are always doing 10 things at once. You are watching this video, right? You're watching or listening to this video, but you were also, part of you is strategizing about how you're going to be the best watercolor artist that the Midwest has ever seen. You were watching this video and you were also plotting how you're going to write your Robert Pattinson fanfic and how it has evolved since the Twilight days. And now you're like, wait, but I just saw Mickey 17 and now I see this other part of him and I'm going to write that into my fanfic. Like, I already know your brain is wild and there's just so much going on. Like, you're taking a shower, but you were not just like shampooing your head. You were also having a transformative experience, a meditative, an otherworldly experience where your body is processing ways that you were healing generational trauma. And you were like giggling to yourself about the way that when you had like a weird conversation with your mom last week, you also like deflected in a way that was actually emotionally mature And again, you are healing those generational wounds. Okay, so you're always doing 700 things. We are a spool of ribbon that is constantly unspooling, intertwining, weaving, moving around. We are a waterfall of color. There's something going on in the foreground, the background, the side quest, the preamble, the acknowledgement section, the table of contents. The whole book is being written all at the same time. So when you tell yourself the lie that it's too late, I can't do that, it doesn't make sense, that is presuming what? That is presuming a linear order of operations. It's a control freak fantasy. It's a only one thing can happen at one time. No. Things are happening all at the same time, which means that within this chaos, you can have fun and you can actually take a little bit of control. When you presume a linear order of operations, A, B, C, D, E, okay, that's you operating on 2D, just what's on paper, what's on the page. But no, girl, we live in 3D, 4D, 5D, multiple things unfurling all at once. Embrace this chaos theory and give yourself permission to do weird shit. Truth too is that failure is just part of the process. Okay? Getting your face in the mud, messing up, losing time, wasting money. This is like actually the formula for success. If you think you can look pretty and not get dirty and also be successful, that's just a lie. Okay? You're gonna get dirty. You're gonna get your face in the mud. You're gonna mess up because you have to try things in order to see not only what legitimately works in the world, but also to see how you feel about it, right? Because it could look really good on paper, but then you doing it, you might actually be like, oh, I hate this. How interesting, how fascinating. I actually dislike that very much. And that is such important information. So how are you gonna learn that if you don't just start doing it and start trying? Okay, so here's what I believe. I believe that we're always in the process of returning to ourselves, the original form of who we truly are. I think that's adulting. I think adulting is shedding the ideas, the constructs that no longer work for you, and coming back home to yourself. Being comfortable in your own skin, being confident in your own decision making, not letting other people tell you what's cool or tell you what's right. You become the inner authority. I think that's the whole point of all of this. Okay? But how do you get there? How do you actually come back home to yourself? Okay? So if we believe in some sort of destiny, or if we believe in some sort of future self that has learned more and has grown, right? Imagine it as a map. Okay, to get from where I am today to my future, more at-home self, let's say that there are 20 steps on that map. Make a left turn here, make a right turn here, go straight, right? There's all the directions to the map. The number of steps don't change. To become the person that you're meant to be, let's just say it's 17 steps, 17 mishaps, 17 mess ups, 17, I learned that, I decided I'm not going to go down that route, cross that off the list, go this way instead. 17 turns. Okay, let's just assume that's what it is. That number 17, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. So whether you started yesterday or now or 4 years from now, you're still going to have to go through all that shit. I know, it's super annoying, but that's the whole point. Is you're going to have to go through, you're going to have to walk that path, whether you started in 2017 or whether you start today. It doesn't get easier. You're still going to have to go through that process. So why not start now? So if you knew, okay, I have to do the 17 turns to get to the place where I feel more at home and am more comfortable and am more aligned with who I really am, okay, then the argument of it's too late, like, just doesn't make any sense, because it's kind of like, okay, but we're hungry and it just takes that long to get to the restaurant. So can we just start driving? Like, just start driving. The it's too late argument doesn't work when you're going to meet yourself. Like, hit the road, like, start walking. It's a long and windy and sometimes shitty road. You might as well get your shoes on and get out the door. Okay, so the it's too late, it falls apart when presented with this premise. Another analogy, a final analogy that I can use on this point, on this fine point, is it's like doing the dishes. Okay, the dishes will not get magically done. Like, you just still have to stick your hands in that gross water with like all those things floating around and do the dishes. So whether you just keep stacking them and ignoring them, like, they don't get clean by themselves. Okay? So this is like what I tell myself like 3 times a day. I'll like see a pile of dishes and I'm like, I'm gonna do that later. And then I'm always like, do it now. It's not gonna get less gross. Like, in fact, over time, it gets more gross. So that's what I'm saying, is just start walking now. Just do the metaphorical dishes now. Truth number 3 is that it's okay to start over. Let me say that again. It's okay to start over. I really want to emphasize this because back when I was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching, okay, this is the number one thing that people would bring up, is they would be interested in something else. And it's not really even that dramatic. It would be like, I'm a project manager and I want to look into doing that in a different industry. Or I'm a project manager and I'm thinking about going into product. Right? These are not as dramatic changes as you think it is. Okay, but the number one fear that people would have is like fear of the unknown and fear of starting over. Like, I've already, it's a theory of pain, right? It's like, I've already suffered so much. I've already gone through so much pain in this one area. I've already paid my dues. The devil you know, right? Like, yeah, this is shitty, but what if the next situation is even shittier? And I can't imagine, like, at least I've earned something here. At least I have some kind of rank. At least I have some privileges, you know? Like, my boss likes me. I have respect. I can kind of go about my day. I don't need to be kissing anyone's ass anymore. And I just can't imagine, Mandy is like what they would say, I can't imagine having to go through the whole ass kissing process again. Like, that just makes me want to die. Like, I can't do that. Okay. Fair. Like, I get it. I get it, because you have put in so much time and so much effort into this thing that for whatever reason, like, you're kind of just feeling lukewarm about now. And it's like, it feels impractical and maybe even stupid to be like, I'm going to give all that up. Like, I worked so hard for this shit. Right? And that's why a lot of people don't make a change, because they're like, I've already put in my time. I've already hustled. I've already kissed the asses and politicked I've already done it. I already paid for the degree. I can't pivot. Like, I cannot do it. Okay. We need to be brave. We need to be brave and not be beholden by the older version of us that meant well and did their best given the information that they had. But the information has changed. The same energy that guilts you into you have to finish everything on your plate, don't be wasteful. Let's save everything and put it in a tiny Tupperware and then stack all those Tupperwares in our fridge. Like, that same impulse is the same thing that's going to keep you in a job or in a situation that you don't like, that just doesn't fit you anymore. Because you're prioritizing efficiency and you're prioritizing not wasting stuff. But here's the secret about happiness. I think happiness and creativity are closely linked. When you get to play, when you get to be creative, when you get to make stuff and break stuff and do stuff that just you kind of want to do, that has no rational reason, that is not linked to productivity, but is only linked to like a song in your heart that you want to hear, okay? It's wasteful. It's irregular. It's non-linear. It doesn't make sense. So if you let the logic rule your head and you're always doing something because I already put in the time, and if you do the math, if you hear yourself saying, if you do the math, don't do the math. Creativity is not about math. Don't do it. Don't do the math. How about that? Fear of starting over is so 2015. Okay, do you think that you can always be growing, always be achieving, always be number one? Do you think that you can always just be in charge and smooth sailing and happy and no bumps? Do you think you can always be expanding? No, there will be dry as fuck seasons. There will be moments where you are just like, what is happening? I'm not even at a plateau. I'm going backwards. There will be stops and starts and U-turns and mess ups and, oh my God, I totally messed that up and now I have to start over. That is part of it. Don't get mad at yourself if you have to start over. It's okay. It's okay, because the nature of what you are pursuing, which is a life that is more deeply connected to what you actually want, because you're writing the rules, because you are the authority, right? Requires mess ups. It requires start overs. This is actually necessary part of the process. Final truth is is that you're gonna be better at what you like and what you're good at. Full stop. It's energy. It's everything is energy. Okay? If you are at a job where you are miserable because there are multiple points of misalignment, okay, at least 2 to 3 points. Let me give you some examples of this misalignment, right? Example would be you and your boss don't get along. Example would be you don't really agree with the ethics of the company. Example would be you used to like your job, but now you don't because your job has changed because of layoffs, and now you've absorbed an additional role that's on your plate. Okay? You have more than 1 or 2 of these misalignments, and you're just gonna be miserable. Sorry, it's just what it is. And when you're miserable, okay, and let's unpack what is misery, right? So misery is density. Misery is resistance. Misery is, you're just not into it. Emotionally, you're not feeling it. And so everything is harder. Sending an email is harder. Going to a meeting is harder. Everything is hard. Everything's hard, okay? And the hard compounds on itself. So there's misalignment, so things get harder, so your job is harder. So you're just like your output and your productivity is just like, it's just like mid. You know, it's not bad. It's like, but you know that you're not giving it your 100%. And sometimes you might internalize this and be like, what's wrong with me? Oh my God, I'm like not good at my job. But deep down, deep down, what's happening is that you're like, yeah, of course I'm not giving my 100% because I fucking don't care. I don't care. Okay? So when you're at that point, right, you really need to just remember like this flow of logic, which is, of course you're not that good at it. You don't really like it. And there is an argument for, hey, build resilience. Learn to like it. You have to go through the valley of mediocrity and difficulty in anything that you do, right? But if it is a fundamental misalignment, What I'm saying is there's no amount of pushing or convincing or, you're just going to feel the density of energy and you're just going to feel like, not that into it. Okay. So essentially, you are driving with the brake on. It's just the best analogy I can think of, right? You're driving with the brake on. And even you driving with the brake on, like even you dragging your feet and being like, this sucks, you're still doing a good job. This is what I find so funny. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, wait a minute, your heart isn't even in it and you're still getting promoted. You're still, like, relatively speaking, you're still pretty good. And you're still kind of crushing it. And people like you. And you just got a raise. And okay, so imagine, you don't even like your job. Imagine how good you would be if you liked it. Imagine how on fire you would be if you actually felt connected to the thing that you're doing. You're in like disconnection city, and you're still like the mayor of that town. Like you're still like doing really well because you're just talented and you're good at stuff. Okay. Imagine how locked in, tuned in, turned on imagine how fucking badass you would be if you just did something that you liked. Okay. And this is again where the it's too late argument falls apart because I'm like acceleration and speed. Let's think about that. Okay. Right now, you're kind of inching along at a dead man's pace because you hate it, right? And you're dragging your feet. So you're maybe going like 20 miles an hour. So the it's too late argument doesn't work because as soon as you get into alignment, you're going to have your fucking jetpack on. You're going to be zooming 70 miles an hour. I'm like, it's too late for what? For you to go on turbo? For you to absolutely murder everything in sight? Like, okay. Can we talk about acceleration? Can we talk about speed? Can we talk about how alignment means power, means grace, means focus, means creativity, all engines on. So don't tell me it's too late because it's just fuck that. Like that's a lie. Yeah, it's too late if you had to put the same sad 500-pound sad suit on and go do something that you don't want to do. It's not too late if you get to slick around in some sort of like Batmobile where you're just on fire. Like it's definitely not too late for that. And finally, like there's just no such thing as starting over. Like you feel like you've made no progress because you've had to live inside your own body and it's like, tiny little incremental progress that you don't see and you're just so bored with yourself and your life and you're just so over it. But you're not the same. Like you're not the same. So when you get really hurt by something, right? We're really scared to do it again. And we're scared of what if I make the same mistake? Right. So I see this a lot where it'll be like someone in a really toxic workplace and then they find a new job and then there's like a panic and a kind of low grade fear around what if I just make the same bloody mistakes again? Like what if I just fall into the same overworking perfectionist traps? Like what if I change everything about my environment, but then I'm just still me and then I just bring all my stupid problems with me? Like what? Okay. And what I always tell people is I'm like, but you're not the same. Like, you're not because you have learned. And that pain, which is kind of bubbling up as fear right now, that pain is actually a guide. Okay? So you've learned and you're going to have an opportunity to put it into practice and prove to yourself like, oh, no, I see the red flag. I've been down this road. I'm not going to do that same shit again. And you're going to have an opportunity to learn and you are going to do better. You might not get, you might not execute this perfectly the first time around, but trust me when I say you will avoid at least 50% of the mistakes that you made before. Because again, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we are capable of change, that we have the capacity to hold multiple things at once, that we have the capacity to grow and to learn, and that we're not stuck in who we were before. Do not discount your progress. Do not discount the power of your mind. Do not discount the capacity for you to call bullshit on yourself and for you to actually change. So again, to recap, okay, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Truth number 1 is that time is not linear. Truth number 2 is that failure is part of the process. Truth number 3 is that it's okay to start over. And truth number 4, I don't know why I'm laughing. I just think it's so funny. Truth number 4 is you're just going to be better at stuff that you're good at and that you like. Full stop. So for those reasons, I really want that to sink in for you and to think about those rebuttals, quite honestly, whenever you have the thought of like, it's too late, I can't do that thing. You can do that thing. You totally can. Thank you guys so much. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please interact with this video. Leave a comment, like the video, share it with a friend, save it for later. I love you guys and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.